But the state of Minnesota and the city of Minneapolis have been the ones who filed suit in federal court, claiming that ICE should cease its operations in Minnesota based on the 10th Amendment. That's my understanding.
Right. And the whole thing that years ago, there was a case that was decided regarding the 10th Amendment and the ability of the federal government to enforce certain rules and regulations. And it came down to, it was Prince versus the United States back in 1997,
Right.
as well as Murphy versus NCAA back in 2018. And the sum and substance of those cases primarily was a Prince case that came forward. And the ruling on that was that the federal government cannot use state or local resources in order to enforce federal law. It's called the Anti-Commandeering Act.
Right.
Basically, I'm sorry?
No,
Yeah.
right. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's saying that basically the federal government cannot commandeer state or local resources to enforce federal law. The claim that you have going on here with Minnesota basically is turning that on its head. And it's saying that basically federal government is enforcing the law that the state and local authorities are refusing to help them. But because the federal government is enforcing the laws in the way that they are, it's placing a drain upon local and state resources. So as such, they're essentially forcing state and local authorities to act because they're acting because the state and local government are refusing to act to assist federal government. That's a long way of saying that we are not using we are not using state or local resources to assist federal government, but we don't want you to do your job the way that you're doing it because you're forcing us to spend money. And because of that, it's essentially commandeering us to do certain things that, I don't know.
It's
I mean, I read through the complaint a bunch of times, and I'm just like, the biggest issue that came up is that similar claims were made before back in 2015, where you had Texas versus the United States. And in that one, the state of Texas sued the federal government, sued the Obama administration, saying, we want you to enforce the immigration rules and immigration laws because you're not doing it. And because you're not enforcing the laws, that is placing a drain upon the state of Texas, where we have to spend more resources for Medicare or for Medicaid, state Medicaid, right. State resources for education, state resources for other
hospitals,
things.
for Medicare, right?
For people that by the reading of the immigration laws should not be here. And the Supreme Court decided it and said, although they did not decide it specifically on 10th Amendment issues, they decided it saying, look, immigration is decided solely by the federal government. And because the federal government has the authority over it, and only the federal government has the authority over immigration, the state can't, you can't sue to have them, you can't force them to enforce the rules. So this is basically the exact opposite claim that Texas versus U.S. was filing.